Joseph Schwartz, 34, a former bodybuilder and health enthusiast, had spent years online crusading against bad behavior, but now the tables had turned. The internet had judged him guilty of hypocrisy. His social media, once vibrant with support, now echoed with condemnation. It began with a tribute video. Joseph honored Anthony the Crusher Malone, a boxing legend who had recently passed, but a word in his message, colored, ignited a firestorm. Unaware of its painful history, Joseph used the term as a simple descriptor. But during the Jim Crow era, it labeled segregated facilities, a tool of othering that stripped Black people of individuality and humanity. Today, it is rightly considered offensive. Joseph's response only made things worse. Tweets meant to defend himself came across as deflection, not apology. His followers, once allies, turned against him. Comments poured in, accusations of hypocrisy, disappointment, outrage. Sitting alone that evening, Joseph stared at his laptop. His reflection, pale and ghost-like, mirrored the collapse of his carefully curated persona. He hadn't intended harm, but intention alone could not erase the impact. Screenshots, critiques, and judgment spread relentlessly. "This isn't about free speech," one comment read. "It's about the insidious ways casual racism permeates society." And in that moment, Joseph realized, ignorance is not innocence. The comment sections were a digital minefield. Every scroll revealed another layer of accusation, another demand for accountability. Joseph's phone vibrated endlessly, a relentless pulse echoing the chaos of voices, each one louder than the last. "Privileged much?" one user wrote, their avatar a simple yet potent black fist. "You think this is a joke? Your words have real-world consequences." Another, "You're always telling the next person to do better, but here you are, openly supporting a dead racist. You're just another loser pretending to care for the average Joe just for a check." Screenshots of older posts scrolled by like ghosts from a past life. Ill-judged jokes, hastily written opinions, detached from context, but damning nonetheless. Joseph's stomach churned. The faces of strangers, tiny avatars, and sharp words seemed to mock him in unison. "It's not like that," he wanted to type. His fingers hovered over the keys, trembling. "I've always supported equality. You're misinterpreting my words." But he stopped. He remembered the statement he had issued the night before, defensive, tone-deaf, and dismissive. His carefully curated persona, years of building trust and credibility, was crumbling pixel by pixel. Screenshots of his past, frozen in time, now carried a weight he could not escape. The impact of his own words, once so casual, was undeniable. Even now he could feel the sting, the way a single misstep online could morph into a tidal wave of condemnation. Then one comment pierced through the digital din. "You've made a huge mistake." Joseph froze. The words weren't just criticism. They were a mirror. A mirror reflecting not the world's hatred, but his own misjudgment, his own failure to fully consider the consequences of what he'd said. He leaned back, staring at the glow of the phone screen. His hair was disheveled from hours of scrolling, his shoulders tight with tension. He remembered Malone the Crusher, the childhood idol he had once sanitized in his mind. And suddenly, it wasn't just about Malone, it was about him. Joseph Schwartz. He had tried to honor a legend while ignoring the shadows that followed, and now, confronted with the backlash, he felt betrayed, not just by the online mob, but by his own naivety. "I am deeply sorry." He began typing again, slower this time, each word deliberate. "My attempt at a tribute was insensitive and wrong. I failed to recognize and address the deeply offensive nature of some of the included material. I am taking down the video. This isn't about defending Malone's words. It's about taking responsibility for my own actions. I need to do better." Even as he typed, he knew posting it wouldn't fix everything. But for the first time, Joseph truly understood that intent did not erase impact. He glanced at a new comment, and this time he didn't react immediately. He let it linger. He let it sink in. You've made a huge mistake. And for the first time, Joseph wasn't thinking about likes, followers, or his carefully constructed image. He was thinking about accountability, about growth, about the painful, uncomfortable work of facing his own shortcomings. The screen dimmed and Joseph exhaled, a small, quiet acknowledgement of the road ahead, a path of reflection, humility, and, he hoped, redemption. A new comment appeared. It wasn't a personal attack, but a measured critique. Joseph, I know you're not a racist, but this isn't about intent, it's about impact. Take responsibility. A sincere apology and a commitment to learn. That's what's needed. For the first time, Joseph saw a lifeline. Another comment followed. You've made a huge mistake, but we believe you can learn. Don't let this define you. Empathy, for once, broke through his wall of self-recrimination. Joseph paused. Perhaps this was his chance to rebuild not just his online reputation, but himself. Words would have to be different, sincere, careful, and empathetic. He typed, I'm so sorry to everyone hurt by my video. There are no excuses. My words were insensitive, offensive, and undermined everything I claim to stand for. The response was immediate: anger, disbelief, but also cautious hope. He continued, acknowledging the privilege that blinded him and the harm his self-righteousness had caused. Actions followed. He pledged part of his next 3 months' income to organizations supporting affected communities and provided ways for others to help. My apology isn't enough, he wrote. I must show through action that I'm committed to repair the harm I caused. Skepticism remained, but dialogue began. How can I regain your trust? He asked. Some replied, by learning, by using your platform for real change. He listened. Slowly, the storm shifted. The conversation moved toward understanding, allyship, and growth. Joseph had a chance, not just to repair his reputation, but to rebuild himself. Then came his most innovative action. He launched a series of online workshops collaborating with community leaders and activists from the groups he had inadvertently offended. These workshops focused on media literacy and responsible online engagement, aiming to educate others and prevent similar mistakes. He invited harsh criticism and actively listened to the feedback. Joseph, a young woman named Aliyah, a prominent disability rights activist whom he deeply offended, said during a virtual meeting, your initial apology was lacking. It felt formulaic, but this shows you're actually trying to understand. I understand, he replied, his voice carrying a genuine weight of remorse. I made a mistake and I need to spend a long time making amends. I'm not going to forgive you easily, Joseph, another participant, an elder from the community, stated firmly. But you're showing a willingness to learn, and that's something. We'll see if this is genuine or just another performance for the cameras. The workshops continued for months. Joseph's initial misstep became the catalyst for impactful conversations, challenging preconceived notions, harmful stereotypes and tropes, fostering understanding. He didn't erase the past, but he created a path towards genuine reconciliation. Joseph emerged from the controversy with a renewed understanding of accountability and a commitment to using his platform for positive change. For the next few months, he did not chase viral content. Instead, he focused on educating himself on the nuances of inclusivity and cultural sensitivity. He reached out to community leaders and activists, seeking guidance and mentorship. I was wrong, he often said. Real change demands accountability, understanding, and a genuine commitment to listening. It's not just about pointing out problems, it's about finding solutions together. The shift was palpable. Joseph, once solely defined by his fiery rhetoric, had emerged from the ashes of controversy, not just reformed, but profoundly transformed. His journey was not easy, but his commitment to genuine change, driven by deep self-reflection, gave him a newfound credibility. a different kind of influence built not on viral outrage, but on empathy. The internet, ever watchful, began to see this new Joseph, and for now judgment was suspended, a silent promise to witness his continued growth.